Do you know that quote, the quality of your life depends on the quality of the questions that you ask, or something along those lines? What are good questions to ask during a time like this? Um, 1,432 days ago, I started a little routine and a habit. When I first started it, I had put it down as a 30-day challenge. So my entire goal was to do it for at least 30 days. I kept doing it for almost 1,500 days now in a row, which is to start my day with answering 5 essential questions. And the reason for that, I do a bunch of things in the morning, but one of the reasons why I would answer those 5 questions is it would allow me to it's almost like a windshield wiper, just like create clarity and vision for the day, create perspective for the day before I stepped into action and then entered the activity and the busyness of my daily life. And over the time, one thing that I noticed was that asking these 5 questions in the morning, writing down the answers was really, really powerful and helpful. But the other thing that I noticed, after 30 days was that it's not always the same questions that matter. And all questions are not equally useful and helpful to everybody. And they're not universally helpful forever, right? As my life changed, as different challenges and I entered different phases in my life, I had to update the questions or change the questions. At times, they were incredibly powerful, and at times, they were just a routine. So I had my ups and downs with this, but recently, last 2 weeks or so, I noticed that the questions that I was answering, or the questions I had asked at the beginning of the year, I had updated my questions in January, where they just felt useless, right? They just didn't feel, they didn't feel contextually relevant and helpful to me right now. So I just sit down and I updated those questions and I played around with what kind of questions could be most useful to ask during difficult times like these. And here's some of the things that I wrote down. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your opinions, any suggestions that you have. What are the most valuable questions one could ask right now? For me, some of the questions that I wrote down is what can I learn right now and what can I learn today? How can I grow in this environment? How can I serve people today? How can I serve the world right now? Where are hidden opportunities? And what is the change that is about to happen? Not the change that is happening today, but the change I anticipate to happen soon. How can I adapt to the world today, right? It's not the strongest that survive, it's the one that adapt the best and the fastest. So how can I adapt to the new realities of the world right now? What are the benefits of these tough times? And what would I do if I had opposite beliefs? So what I mean by that is I have a certain outlook of what is going to happen in the world. I have certain beliefs of what needs to be done in times like these. What if I did the opposite, right? What if I believed the opposite? What if I believe this is going to be over really quickly and there's going to be a massive boom, economic boom around the world? What if I believe, like whatever your beliefs are, this is terrible, or this is great, or this is going to have this impact on this industry or that impact? What if you believe the opposite? What if you try to adapt an opposite point of view for just 10 minutes and think through it? What consequences could it have for your life, for your well-being, for the actions that you would take? And then maybe most importantly, how can I decrease anxiety in the world? How can I help people cope better? What can I do to make one person's life better in the next 1 hour? Now, these were more than just 5 questions. I'll pick 5 of those. This was just a little brainstorming session that I did to see what would be good questions to ask, maybe more useful questions, questions that when I write them down, they seem meaningful and helpful to me right now, because the questions that I had before didn't. And to start a brainstorming process with you, what do you think could be powerful questions to ask right now?